Welcome to the audio experience of KimberlySueIverson.com, a redhead rewriting reality and multi-genre author. I am your host, Kimberly Sue Iverson, and today I'll be sharing with you a story that's close to my heart. If you prefer to read along or explore more stories, visit my website at KimberlySueIverson.com. This audio experience is for an adult audience. Themes and topics may not be appropriate or suitable for all audiences, so listener and viewer discretion is advised. Now, get yourself comfy as we dive into today's tale. Beware the idiot. I am an idiot. I am. Sadly, you are too. But this is just about me. It's all about me. No, it's not a confession of recent idiocy that I have to confess to. I'm just speaking in generalities. I'm an idiot in general. Not perfect. I don't always use the right words. Often, I'll find, even in my work, that I will use a word that brain says, "This is it." And guess what? I'm an idiot. That, indeed, was not the word that I wanted to use. Thanks, brain. Doing me great. I'm utter perfection when I switch the word waste, as in trash, with waste, as in body part. Totally the same. Not. It doesn't help that I'm working on months of little sleep now. Exhaustion and a constant whine from a dog in my head that my brain really now doesn't want to cooperate. I'm not being facetious when I say that. Today, for example, I have been listening to Chewbacca whine all day long. He is currently whining as I write this. Just to be able to have a few minutes of silence and be able to think, I have music blasting in my head. On the outside, someone would say, "How rude are you? Your dog needs you." Chewbacca is 17 years old. I have fed him, and that didn't do it. A neighbor so beyond graciously gave us leftover meat that she had from her own dog who passed many years ago. Since she knows financially my brother and I are severely struggling. It fortunately spurred Chewbacca into eating, but part of his mouth hasn't been working, and I have a hunch it's from having had a stroke. He is unstuffed for pain, and it doesn't help much. There was one night he was like this the entire night. Every time I drifted off to sleep, he'd let out the loud whine and start up for a bit again. Well, today is that instead. I take him to potty. He's not satisfied. I feed him. He's not satisfied. He's just full on in the whine stage. Anxiety, pain, fear, it could be a million things. I could always be like some pet owners and go lock him away in a crate or bedroom, but I can't bring myself to ever do that to a dog. I don't believe in crate training in any way short of a dog needing it for being on a plane or similar. That's just my own personal belief. And Kendra is just, her mind is not there. While I edit this a few days later, she decided today 4 a.m. was the time to get up, and I watched her wander and wander and wander. She was trying to walk into the water bowl instead of a door, the wall instead of the hall, and would stare off into space. I'd put her to bed, she'd wander across the other dogs in their beds. She may be getting to the point that my Australian Shepherd was near the end, and I have to put a harness on her at night to keep her safe and the other dogs from being walked over when they sleep. Her issue is that sometimes when prevented from wandering, she'll whine. And yes, I do have anxiety meds for her and CBD oil she gets too, just like with Chewbacca. No sleeping pill though. So my exhaustion and listening to that especially is hard on the mind. I want you to sit and listen to a radio at full blast all day and try to have a conversation. Or figure something out. I don't know. Maybe if you live in New York, in one of those places that have tons of noise. What other countries or cities are like that? Blaring horns, constant cop sirens and the like. I couldn't live with that sort of noise. I'm sure some get used to it though, so it becomes background noise. For me, it's usually so silent around here that is what some are like, I can't handle that. Because it's so quiet at times, especially in the house. Minus, as of late, when Chewbacca is whiny. Then, not so. We had a repairman once working on the TV and comment on that fact. It's so quiet here. Yes, it can be. With Chewbacca whining and Kinder getting us up too early in the morning, though, it's made the other dogs grumpy as hell, so everything can set them off. They've been having to be corrected too much. For a time when it was warm, I'd have all the windows open and they'd be quiet. Not now. They lack sleep, they're grumpy, fussy, and throw tantrums over the neighbors walking past and chatting. So it's not just me being affected. And this is my second or third pause in the time of writing this up. Had to put him back on his bed. Chewbacca, still whining. He does pause here and there in case some are worried he's overstressing his system. This is partly why I want to hurt someone who will gripe about people getting rid of older pets to find them homes because maybe they're moving, they have children who need them more, something. They are trying to do the right thing instead of just dumping the pet. I want to ask them, how many elderly pets have you raised and dealt with until the end? Because Chewbacca isn't an exception. This is what they are like. No sleep, anxiety, fears, pain, misery. He can't see, so will walk around, stop, get scared and whine, then start a little howl. Well, then some days his bladder is bad, so he has to get up every other hour. Then other days, it's like that today, he is extremely restless. He will not settle. It doesn't allow any work to be done, and don't even talk to me about leaving the room. I don't get more than 30 minutes out of a room before he senses I've left and panics. I tried to do more cleaning of a closet today, and what would have taken me a little time took way more than 30 minutes. Might have been an hour or so for a maybe up to 30-minute project because I had to go and come dealing with him. One would argue to ignore the whine then. Ignore it too long and it turns into a full-on howl. I have sympathy for people who know and understand that they cannot handle it. For those who judge and say, well then don't get a dog. Well then you don't have a child or a partner or a life because guess what? We all deal with that in one form or another. You get into a relationship, they walk outside and get hit by a car tomorrow. Could you have planned for it? What about a child growing up and them getting worse health-wise sooner than you? The point being, in some circumstances, we can plan for things, and in others, we can't. We may even go into a situation fully thinking that we can handle it, but when we get to the destination, we realize we can't. Think of those situations too, where we say, I'll never do blank, and end up realizing we can, or that we choose to do. In this case, I'm thinking of someone who says they'll never take care of a parent, and in the end, they do. Million reasons for it. They make the choice to. So yeah, we never know what's coming. We're not perfect. Which is the point of this. I am an idiot. And I'm not sure at what point the world expected anyone to not be. Anyone to have the perfect words, the perfect grammar, the perfect behavior, or otherwise. We see it too much online, but even offline. People criticize and laugh at you for messing words up, for not having the right actions in situations, for not knowing subjects. At what point did we expect that the other person standing across from us was to know everything, and further decide that because they didn't know something or did something differently, they failed and were stupid? Put the spotlight right on me too, because I find myself doing that with too many as well. I'm not sure where we got to the point where we expected perfection out of everyone, out of each other. And no, it's not just perfection. I'm just using that word to emphasize better. When did that happen? Why did it? We're not perfect. Nobody is. I've said it before that even Jesus wasn't. I promise he wasn't. If he was in human form, and from some passages there is exhaustion and annoyance creeping into words he said, if those were his. Guess what? To me, having even slight imperfections tells me that you and I will get along. People cannot reach that stage. And I'm not sure what shifted in our minds that made us go, that other person needs to know this or that, or something is wrong with them. We give grace to toddlers when learning to walk. We give grace to babies learning to crawl. We give grace to the elderly who start to struggle, or people we know have something going on medically that causes any kind of struggle with memory, words, anything. Someone from my past that I still love more than words can ever describe had issues with memory from seizures. This was a hard thing for them to deal with. It caused them a constant source of worries, hurt, and just a lot. Me knowing that they had issues with that was never a problem. I still wanted to spend my life with them, and I understood that there would come challenges with that. I saw them as perfect for me. There wasn't this, oh my God, you have memory issues, ew. I had no expectations of perfection, but that's what made them perfect. They were imperfect. They're still a brilliant and generous soul, too. Memory doesn't affect that. Though I do admit, even I have moments where I struggle to see another as anything but an idiot. As I've said of someone here, like the man in the big white house. A lot of people I naturally forgive and give patience and grace to. I let things go because I don't want to be held to a standard I can't meet either. I'm human. I'm an idiot. I'm going to mess up. But when did we forget that? When did we shift to this person getting this word wrong or not knowing this was wrong? It made them wrong. And we feel we need to not be that too, or we're failures. Political and religious beliefs are a huge thing. I have friends who believe the total opposite to me. I have friends who are extreme on both sides. I love them. Too many have lost family and friends because of beliefs these past 10 years, I'll say. Too many have fought and struggled because of independent beliefs while shoving their beliefs down the throats of others and screaming about the lack of acceptance or how bad people were because of it. The whole nobody accepts me, but I'm going to yell at people because they don't accept me. Or nobody accepts me, but I'm not accepting of others either. There's just so much of that. I get it. Some think I live in a fairy tale world because I have this stupid idea of being kind to people, neighborly, and treat everyone the same. Well, I say hi to my neighbors, and they say hi back. I talk to them, they talk to me. I create the love around me, and those same people give that love back. That's not a fairy tale. That's my reality. I live in a neighborhood that I guess many don't think exists. But I would ask then how you contribute. I know it's not easy to talk to people and introduce yourself. But have you considered doing so? Making a homemade gift and giving it to them? Yes, these sound stupid, and yes, these sound ridiculous. But a lot of why people are the way they are is that lack of connection, is that belief that we all project. Everyone is bad, evil, horrible. Yes, there is a lot of bad in this world, a lot of evil, a lot of disconnection, a lot of anger, rudeness, and all the negative words. There is also goodness, kindness, and love. We all need to project that. We all contribute, even as small and nothing as we feel we are. We all can smile at that person on the street, make eye contact, say hello. Some might be uncomfortable, but will that stop you from trying? Being rejected is so incredibly hard to deal with. I don't discount that. But it doesn't say anything about who we are as a person. It says that one person didn't agree with that one thing and felt whatever it wasn't right for them. Maybe a smile from you, a hi from you, a date request, a job request. Doesn't make you bad, doesn't make them bad. We are all idiots. None of us are perfect. None of us will get everything right all the time. When we lack sleep, when we're tired, yes, we mess up. Yes, we can correct that. Yes, tomorrow is another day to either correct a mistake or make another. Tomorrow is a day to apologize, reach out to that person and say, I missed you. I'm sorry for what I said. It takes strength to be vulnerable, and it's so hard. Beyond hard, but at what point did we forget that we're all dumb and mess up? In this game I play that I often reference, Pirates of the Caribbean: Tides of War, I actually sometimes use that as a learning space. I watch these high-level players totally mess up, forget things, make a wrong move and pay for it, and they say it. I learn so much from them and enjoy just watching how they interact. That's for me a hard space. Oh, I messed up. Oh, whoopsie, I made a mistake. Oh, I did the wrong thing, said the wrong thing. Because I was raised with such a high bar that I could never meet by my mom. I was raised that if everything wasn't done perfectly, then I was wrong, an idiot, stupid, pathetic, and was something seriously wrong with me? The other day, I mentioned to someone how I can flush when tired. That's it. I get really tired. It gets close to bedtime. My cheeks start to flush. No turning that sucker off. It's so fun. My mom sometimes would look at me and ask if something was wrong with me if I was sick. And no, not in a caring tone. Not in a tone you'd think that would be asked in. It was a condescending tone. Something is wrong with you, Kim tone. As if I could control it. As if I was. As if it meant I was sick or I could turn it off and I should be shamed for feeling it. A normal bodily function I had zero control over. If you wish to really know how bad that aspect was, here's something I rarely even told people about because of how this will sound in the struggles with it. So really listen to what living with a narcissist is like and why my brain is really effed up and I work hard to discern right behaviors, normal behaviors, and normal functions. That was a point of shaming a lot for me. Normal bodily functions. Whether I used the bathroom a lot or I didn't, whether I had a stomach ache or not, even those normal things people experience, I was criticized for, shamed for, and I had many years as a youth where I struggled to go, and the bathroom was a severe issue for me. I still have times where I struggle to let my guard down, even at home, as if I'm waiting for that voice to come and ask why I'm taking so long, why I'm going so much or not going so much. People take for granted what some of us have struggles with. When we treat people as if they're idiots, that can really F with someone too. That's why I make very clear, I'm an idiot. I do mess up. I mess up with stuff I say when I'm tired or when I'm distracted. And a huge struggle for me after then is going, oh, they're probably mad or don't want to hear from me. Oh, that probably crossed a line and now they won't talk to me, so it's better if I leave them alone. It's better for them if I'm not in their life. Many probably see my behavior as opposite from what it is, when it's really me being scared, insecure, worried, concerned, thinking I'm doing what's best for them. I am not used to being able to work conflict out with people, with yelling at someone when I'm upset and having them still be there, even if we shouldn't yell at people. So I stifle it, sit back, or hold my tongue. I admit I do often with that just because I'm worried about what I'll say, and if I do speak, it won't be good. So then I go back to the above, what I just talked about. Avoiding people, being scared and insecure and worried and concerned about reaching back out to them. So yeah, I'm an idiot. It's like in Mr. Finkle's Grave Error. This is a short I did for my creative writing course some years ago. It's a freebie everywhere. He messes up. He goes to the bathroom and drops his guard, and oh boy, he does something really stupid. Instead of taking responsibility, though, we learn, oh no, he's not going to confess to issues. When the female lead gets upset and lashes out, he takes offense. He full on goes after her as if she is the issue. Because that's often easier, isn't it? I'm not the one with the problem. You are. It's your fault. You messed up. Instead of owning our behavior and saying, I'm sorry, I messed up, I'm sorry, that was on me. So what does he do? Not only does he blame her, but he puts it all on the female lead, all to save his pride and ego, and in this case, job. All because he doesn't want to seem weak and fallible. That's certainly a hard part too, isn't it? Don't you relate? Tell me in the comments. Not being seen as perfect or decent and being seen as an idiot. Having to drop the ego and pride and admit we don't know everything. We don't know something, or we're just really screwed something up. It hurts the ego. My goodness, does it? That's a humbling moment, if ever there was one. It's also nice to be able to say that and not have the other party say, I told you so, and then go on and forever harass us after for that mistake. How the other receives our idiocy can often help us with admitting our mistakes and the like too. It's why I probably give such grace. I'm too old and too tired to want to argue all the time. Too tired to bother with holding grudges. It doesn't mean I won't place a boundary to protect myself. Sometimes we need those. Sometimes we don't. But holding grudges and all the emotional intensity that comes with that stuff, I mean, for me personally, it's, I think, a huge reason why I just don't want to be someone who permanently shuts doors now. I used to. When I cut you out, I was done. Now, though, if you see the issue and you talk to me about it, and I see the actions that you've changed, I'm probably letting you back in. Will I get hurt again? If I do, yes, that's on me, but it's also on the other person. If someone takes me for granted, I feel it and I step away. I'm not going to be there. You will learn. I'm not going to be taken for granted. That doesn't mean you have a green light to enter my life again. I say I might let you back in. I didn't say I will. Your role will have changed. My trust will have dropped. I will see a different you. I will not give you the same access card. To me, if they need to go away to determine your worth, they didn't see it before, and it's highly doubtful they'll see it when they come back. Always exceptions to the rule. Still. But again, I am an idiot. And sometimes I let them back in. Communication is such a huge thing for me because of that. I think it can benefit all of us. I see that in the game I play. The way people can only really communicate and write it out because the chat is all text. So they do argue, yell, debate, cuss, call each other names, but also work things out, talk, communicate, act a fool the next week or month, then come back and again talk, work it out, and communicate. We all could benefit more from communication, good or bad. Because remember, we're all idiots. Don't all know how to use our words. I love people around me who teach me better ways to communicate. I find those people vibrant and rich to be around. Not yell, not condescend, not teach me, but help me learn, properly teach without that negative aspect as if they're looking down at me for being stupid. Give me that vibrancy and richness. Give me your words and your stories and help me communicate better. I will adore you and reward you for that deliciousness. Communication is sexy as hell and super attractive in people, and I love it. More to come. Thank you for reading and subscribing. I know how valuable your time is, so it means so much that you are here, and I'm beyond grateful you chose to spend this time with me. What are your thoughts? Engage with me and start a conversation. Just don't be rude about it. If you'd like a chance for your story to be read and featured, get in touch at stories2read@KimberlySueIverson.com. A new episode and blog is dropped every Wednesday on KimberlySueIverson.com or on YouTube under Kimber Bites. That's KimberBites, Kimber Bites. And don't forget to check out my Ream subscription page. Another chapter is up. I'm releasing Guardians of the Void chapter by chapter over on Ream right now. I will be releasing my Priestess World as well soon, long before the public gets the books. You'll be able to read the chapters as I write them and help with the world. You'll get to read extra scenes that may not make the cut either. This is still being thought out on how I will, so they haven't been posted yet, but stay tuned. Also, that world is still in progress, but I have written almost 3 books. I'm nearing the end of the 3rd one. That's the one that when you follow me on social media, if you see the updates, that's the one it's about. If I actually do some writing and get all excited, that's typically the world I'm writing in. So check out reamstories.com/KimberlySueIverson. That's reamstories.com/KimberlySueIverson. reamstories.com/KimberlySueIverson. That link also will be in the description box below, unless I completely forget to add it, at which point you can remind me. Or we're failures. Fail. Why can't I say the word?